Hi, Kyle with BB Custom Tools here, and I want to introduce you to the Spindle Drilling Guide. As you may know, the common techniques for drilling spindle mortises in chair arms and bows have generally required a steady hand and good hand-eye coordination. The Spindle Drilling Guide will make drilling those mortises far simpler, faster, and most importantly, accurate. The Spindle Drilling Guide comes in two versions, the standard version and this new large version. The standard version can drill mortises from 5/16 of an inch to a half an inch using various sized drill bushings. The larger version here steps that up a notch and is able to drill mortises up to 5/8 of an inch, which is perfect for stick chairs. The reason for these two versions is that the components for the larger version are considerably more expensive than for the standard version. So if you do not plan on regularly drilling mortises larger than half an inch, the standard version would be right for you. We do have a video on how you can use the standard version to drill larger mortises using a half-inch drill bushing and one of our drill extensions. However, if you plan on making a lot of stick chairs with mortises larger than half of an inch, then the large version would be perfect for you. And not only can the large version drill those larger mortises, it's also equally proficient at drilling mortises down to 5/16 of an inch. Now, let me walk you through the basics of the spindle drilling guides, and then we'll get into a short demo of the guides in action. First off, the bones of each of these drilling guides are these aluminum extrusions and these two carriages, one fixed and one movable. The fixed carriage holds this 12mm steel rod. This rod will easily fit in common half-inch spindle mortises and chair seats. The end of the rod here is slightly domed and tapered, which minimizes any dents if it's mistakenly dropped on the spindle deck. We do our best to think of everything. On the back side of the steel rod is what I call a pointer. By flipping the rod end for end, like on the large version here, you can now use the guide to drill spindle mortises in arms and or bows where the mortises and the seats are just marked and will not be bored until after the arm and or bow spindle mortises are done. The movable carriage here holds a drill bushing and can slide up and down the length of the aluminum extrusion. It also includes this brake that will fix the carriage anywhere along the length of the extrusion. The drill bit bushing is aligned perfectly with the 12mm rod, which results in dead accurate spindle mortises. The offset design here allows you to drill centered spindle mortises on stock up to 6 inches wide and from 5 to 30 inches above the seat. And most importantly, this design allows you to drill blind spindle mortises from underneath. You might need that for a crest rail and even for other non-chair making operations such as casework, stairs, etc. And all this in a package that weighs less than 2.5 pounds. Now, let's move on to a short demo of the drilling guides. All right, in this first demo, we're using the large spindle guide with the pointer feature, and we're going to be drilling it in this arm bow here. And this is a test board, and we're putting the pointer into the little pinprick that's on the seat blank, indicating where the mortise will be drilled after we drill the spindle mortise in the arm bow. And we're drilling a 5/8 inch spindle, and it's about 8 inches above the top of the seat blank. And we're adjusting the movable carriage to where it's about a finger width above the test board here, or our test arm bow. And next we'll be inserting the 5/8 inch bit into the bushing on the guide, and then making sure that that aligns with our pinprick representing where our spindle mortise would be in the arm bow. At this point, put some slight downward pressure on the guide and drill away. And as you can see, it's a fairly simple operation. There we are, we're through, and we simply remove the drill bit from the guide, and we have our hole. And not only is it that simple, but it's also dead accurate. And here we go. Here's a picture showing just how accurate that hole is. Now we're moving on to a couple of demos using the standard version of the guide. These demos were shot in a previous version of this video when we just had the standard guide for sale. Okay, we're putting the spindle drilling guide into the mortise in the seat. And then I like to lower the movable carriage till the drill bushing is just about a finger width above the bow. And let's grab the drill here, and we'll just put the drill bit into the bushing. This is actually the hardest part of using this jig. And then we line it up, and then just simply drill away. This is just how simple it is to put those spindle mortises in the bow. Everything's nice, easy, and like I've said, above all, accurate. So now we're moving on to the next hole here. And we're sitting there, again, lowering that movable carriage down to about a finger width above the bow. Insert the drill bit into the drill bushing. Sorry about my stupid head here. And there we are, we got that marked, and again, just drill away. And that is just how simple it is to use. Now in this sequence here, I've sped it up, and we're drilling the 3 holes on the other side of the bow. And this way, hopefully, I don't have my head in the way half the time. And it's basically the same technique of just making sure the carriage is in the proper position, like I said, about a finger width above the bow. And we just move from hole to hole. Now one thing, I'm drilling 11/32 spindle mortises here, but these drill bushings are available in sizes from 5/16 all the way up to 3/8, 11/32, in this case, 7/16 and 1/2 inch. And there are those options when you do buy the jig to pick whatever drill bushing you want. You can also buy other ones here. Now here I'm using a technique to create a little pocket for the mortise here in the steepest portion of the bow. And then I simply put the jig here and get it into position. Now I realize here, hey, it might be better for the camera so y'all can see it if I move the jig to the other side. And like I said, the jig is basically ambidextrous. You can use it on the back side of the bow or the front side of the bow, whatever is more comfortable for whatever particular mortise you're drilling, or whether you're right-handed or left-handed. And there you go. Here you can see how accurate it is. I'm going through all 3 mortises I drilled here. And here are some dummy spindles in the bow, so you can see just how accurate and how straight those are. Alright, here I am demonstrating how to drill a blind mortise using the drilling guide. This is one of the great features of this offset design, is it allows you enough room to drill from underneath the movable carriage. I have a little piece of tape on the drill bit to let me know when I've gone far enough, 1 inch in this case. This is a very easy process to do, and once again, very accurate.